You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for another incredible session here of the African Father in America podcast. My name is Simon Javan Okello, and I'm really excited to be here with you for another amazing episode of the African Father in America podcast. And I hope you're doing well. Let me know where in the world you are joining me from. And I am in Seattle, Washington. We have a beautiful African proverb that we are going to share today. This is going to form our last broadcast until February 27th, when I will be coming back after a long trip that I have to take to the motherland. Anyhow, thank you again for taking the time to join us today. I don't have a guest today, but I know that I will be having some guests, some friends and family joining me on Clubhouse and shortly also here on YouTube. We were supposed to have a guest, but we didn't really hear from them. With this podcasting and broadcasting business, sometimes you plan things and they don't work the way that you'd like them to work. But still, we have a beautiful proverb for you today, and I also have the 3 nuggets of wisdom for you today. So just grab your cup of coffee and enjoy the rest of our conversation, which is going to last hopefully for about half an hour today. I'm literally in the midst of packing for my trip back to the motherland for a little bit, to see family, to do some business, and to build some connections. So this trip is also part of the One Vibe experience. Over the last many months, we've been talking to you all about, the fact that every year we organize at least 2 trips back to Kenya. So if you are in the diaspora and you want to go back to the motherland, and you're tired of vacationing in Hawaii and Miami, then you need to connect with us. Check out onevibeexperience.com to learn more. Our proverb today comes from Nigeria, and it says that give thanks for the little and you will find a lot. Give thanks for the little and you will find a lot. I just want to set up a few things on Clubhouse. So if you're watching this on YouTube, forgive me because I just have to take a look at what's going on Clubhouse, and then we continue with the conversation. I have 3 beautiful nuggets of wisdom in relation to this proverb. So I want you to share with me in the comment what this proverb means to you while I set up just the Clubhouse room, because as you all know, we always include our community members who are just going to be listening in. So stay with me as I set that up here. It will take a second. Hey Sensors, nice to see you. I hope you are doing great. I hope you're doing great. Hey Cabs, nice to see you. I hope you are doing great. Thank you for joining us.
Hey Simon.
Hey. This is my last broadcast until February 27th. So I'm just happy to be here, but I'm definitely a little tired today. I had a short night, and I have a long day ahead. But it's beautiful that we have this proverb here to help me personally navigate how today and the rest of the next few weeks is going to look like. But also I hope that this proverb is going to give you some inspiration and is going to help you get your day started right. Now, give thanks for the little and you will find a lot. What does it mean to you? When I think about this proverb, it reminds me of the value of gratitude, appreciating every single moment, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be, And for me, as a father of 3 beautiful girls, a lot of the time I am learning. It took me a while, but I'm learning that there's no great moment that I have to wait for in order for me to appreciate the moments I spend with my daughters. And yesterday I was, at an after school activity with one of my daughters, and while she was playing and doing what she was doing with her friends, I was stuck with all these parents from China, from everywhere. Here in the US, it's like a melting pot of people. And so while I was stuck there with this group of other parents, I ended up talking for a while with one of the Chinese parents that were there, Chinese American parents that were there. And I knew that currently the Chinese New Year is still going on. So I began talking to this lady, and I was asking her, what are you guys celebrating during the Chinese New Year? How are you doing it? So she told me about all the food, similar to how our guest yesterday, Ming Ming, was sharing with us a lot about the Chinese New Year. And so she asked me, so you as an African, what do you guys celebrate? And then I told her, we celebrate every single day. Our life as Africans is a life of celebration. And she was like, wow, that's what I would like to experience. I knew that she had never been to Africa, and I knew that she does not know a lot, but just sharing with her that our life is a life of celebration, which, it could be, but for me, I celebrate every single day. And so I was just surprised by her reaction when I said that. And then today I see that our proverb says that give thanks for the little and you will find a lot. If you say that your days and your life are full of celebration, your life is full of fortune, that's exactly what you'll get, But if you always call yourself stupid, if you always call yourself foolish, if you always call yourself unfortunate, that's also exactly what you will get. Those are not the nuggets of wisdom that we prepared for you. For some reason, I just wanted to talk, and so I shared that. But here are the 3 nuggets of wisdom that my team and I prepared for you today. Number 1, give thanks for the small things. Just give thanks. Don't worry about why, but just be grateful. Number 2, appreciate and enjoy every moment, whether you're just taking a walk in the neighborhood, whether you're taking your dog out for a walk, whether it's at work when you're doing one of the things that you don't like the most, just appreciate it. And remember that somebody is looking for this thing that you really don't like. Somebody is dying to have that job that you probably don't like, or that food that you probably despise, So finally, acknowledge your blessings, A lot of the time we forget that just the fact that we can see is a privilege. We can walk is a privilege, I am turning 40 in December of this year, but I'm starting to feel that I'm aging, and so I am realizing that I've been so blessed in my life, and I don't go out preaching all of these blessings to everybody, but I'm realizing that I just need to tell myself more, and I need to remind myself how blessed I am, and acknowledge that, you are actually really, really blessed. So this is not my typical fashion of, hogging the mic. But today I just wanted to also appreciate you all, for watching, the YouTube channel, for supporting the African Father in America podcast over the last many, many months, many, many weeks. You guys have definitely better things to do, but you are also realizing that there's value in these beautiful African proverbs that we've been bringing here and cultivating together with you. And so I appreciate you for just embracing this effort. You can see that what we're doing here is embraced by the growth on Apple, on YouTube. So I just want you all to know that I definitely appreciate you. Now, first of all, I want to go back to YouTube just quickly and remind everyone who is watching, remember to give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and also comment. All these things that might be very little, they go a long way in helping the YouTube algorithm understand that we love African proverbs, because this is one of the few channels on YouTube that are completely dedicated to podcasting grounded on African proverbs. So one of our biggest supporters on YouTube is MJWell. Thank you, MJWell. Grand day to you. And thanks again for the well wishes in regards to my travel to the motherland. Now I want to welcome my brothers and sisters who have joined me on YouTube, on Clubhouse. And I want to invite you to make sure that you're following the African Father in America house. And also invite your friends and community to join the African Father in America house on Clubhouse. That's one of the biggest ways that you can support this effort. And finally, I want to hear your voices. I want to come to you, censors. Share with us how you are doing and where in the world you are joining us for today's conversation. Our proverb today is from Nigeria. Give thanks for the little, and you will find a lot. Thank you, censors.
Hi, Simon. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am good. It's been a while. I'm usually at work, but I'm driving now to another thing, and so I'm able to at least attend and speak. Give thanks for a little, and you will find a lot. I think one is gratitude. One is gratitude. Sometimes we get caught up with selfishness that we think the world owes us and should give us everything in such a way that we don't even see the little that we get. We are not even thankful for the little that we get from those people who love us. And sometimes, you know how black tax works, right? Where we think because one of our family members has made it, it's their role to now take care of us, and they must do everything for us. And we are just going to sit there and live off their hard work. And we won't even say thank you. Yet most of the time when they help, they really just want to also hear from you that you just appreciate them, that you see them as someone who loves you, not as a financial bank or something like that. And that's always missing. And when you have that type of arrogance, you might never be given anything anymore. So that is the way I perceive it, and I am thankful for all the little nuggets I keep getting in my life, because they lead to bigger ones. One stop here helps me maneuver and climb 10 steps higher. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, censors. I love that. I didn't know what black tax means, and I just learned it from you right now. And I think that it's so critical that we express gratitude, especially amongst siblings, amongst family members. We take it for granted. We take it for granted until we lose it. You don't know what you have until you lose it. And we've seen that with so many celebrities, who have been in situations where their families have completely depended on them. And even I don't know, I can't even continue with this path that I'm about to take. Cubs, what do you think about this proverb? And, how are you doing? And where are you joining us from? Thank you so much.
Sure, I'm doing good. I'm joining you from Missouri. Yes, and this proverb, gratitude is so important. And I think for me, gratitude is, okay, let me actually read the proverb. Give thanks for the little and you will find a lot. I find that when you are grateful for many things, you start to look at life as you have a lot versus you don't have. Um, you look at things that maybe you don't want to do and you're like, gosh, I get to do this versus I have to do this. It actually switches your mindset and it actually makes you have more grace for yourself and more grace for others. I started a gratitude journal, gosh, over 20 years ago. And I learned this from watching a show on Oprah. There was a lady called Sarah Bread. I cannot say her last name, but anyway, she had her on the Oprah had her on the show, and she talked about the gratitude and gratitude journals. And I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to try and keep a journal. And I started on and off, and then it became something that became more consistent. Like in a year, I'd have like 5,000 entries of gratitude and blessings. And so what that has done for my life is given more of an optimistic outlook, given more of I just find like I have more peace with myself and also with others, more grace for myself and also for others, just from practicing that gratitude. And I already this morning, there's a room on Clubhouse I go to, the gratitude movement, and I'm a gratitude warrior in that room. I start my day with giving thanks. And my mother as well, we are, she also practices the same thing. So she's been a model for me that way as well. So I would just tell anybody, if there's one practice I would say that you should pick up and do and teach your children. My children also, every evening we give thanks. It's a practice we have in our household. It's one of our family values. So there is just a way that it changes life for you, that your life is that much better. Gratitude is healing. I mean, I can go on and on about gratitude, but let me just stop there. Thank you, Simon.
That's wonderful. Yes, if you are joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. Your presence means a lot. I want you to take a minute and like this video, share your comment below, and also share this video if what you're hearing is inspiring and important to you. We do this every single Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but we are taking a couple of weeks off between now and February 27th. I'm traveling back to the motherland to visit with family, do some work. The work I do with my non-profit organization, One Vibe Africa, also involves a lot in Kenya. And we also have Kijiji Night happening on February 24th, So we have to manage our energy and where we are putting it, and that's part of why we are taking this few weeks off of broadcasting here. But you'll be getting a lot of content from us through this channel on YouTube and also across social media platforms. You'll be getting a lot of content, especially about Kijiji Night and a little bit about the trip that I'm taking back to the motherland. Now, Stella, how are you? And what are your thoughts about today's proverb? And where are you joining us from?
Hello, Simon. Hi, everyone. I'm joining from Kenya. This is Stella, and I'm joining from Kenya. And today's proverb is
Hi, Stella.
this one.
Get a
Can you
little.
hear me?
Yeah, I was hearing you very well at the very beginning, and then I started losing you slowly by slowly. So go where you were at the beginning.
Yeah, I think
It's
my phone has
perfect.
so many apps.
It's perfect now.
Can you hear me now?
It's perfect now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I was just saying how this proverb is beautiful because it's reminding us to not forget what we have and appreciate it, however little. And then again, it also reminds us that even if you want, it's not bad to want more, but you have to appreciate the little that you have because I believe that you just have enough until the more that you want comes. So I love the proverb and I'm glad to be here today. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Stella, for all the hard work that you've also been putting in to ensure that this show goes on. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. Welcome, Kay, and welcome, Rocky and Martha. Thank you for taking the time to join us for today's episode of the African Father in America podcast. We are live streaming on YouTube, and also we are here on Clubhouse. So if you haven't joined me on YouTube, the link is right at the top of the Clubhouse room. If you click it, it will bring you straight to my YouTube channel, and I want you to subscribe. I just want to make sure that you are involved in the growth of this channel, so that one day when we look back at today, we will be giving thanks for all the little clicks and the comments and the likes and the shares that contributed to making this happen. Growth does not happen overnight. It takes the little efforts. Stephen, how are you doing today? I hope everything is okay with you. Share with us your thoughts on today's proverb from Nigeria, and also where you are joining us from. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me, Simon. I'm doing well and joining from Kisumu, Kenya. Today's proverb is a nice one. Give thanks for the little and you will find a lot. What comes to my mind is that the proverb reminds us of our baby steps and appreciating every little step that we make in life towards the growth that we want to realize at the end of the tunnel. It also reminds us of not rushing into becoming something big, but being content with the small progresses that you are making towards becoming the big person or the big achievements that you want to make. So like the other speakers have said, it's strongly speaking about gratitude and appreciating the little you have and the people around you for what they are and for who they are in your life. Thank you for having me, Simon. That was my moment.
Thank you very much, my brother Stephen. I deeply appreciate your comments and your reflections on this proverb. For those who are just joining us, take a minute and share the link to the Clubhouse room if you're on Clubhouse, and also make sure you're following the African Father in America podcast house, AFIAPodcast house. That's where we are. And also, if you're on YouTube and just joining us, thank you. Take a second, give this video a thumbs up, and let us know what you think about today's proverb in the comment section below. One other thing that I want to bring up, in case you are joining us for the first time, if you go to the description of this video on YouTube, you're going to find a lot of links to resources and information about how we are producing this show, and also the trip that we are organizing to Kenya every year, and many other opportunities. We add it to the description, and also how you can stay connected with me on social media. You can also get it through the description of this video. Thank you so much. I want to come to you, my brother Rushi. I wish we were going to Kenya together today. Hey, yes, Sensors, go ahead.
I'm really sorry. I'm gone soon, but I just wanted to say good luck on your trip. I know it's going to be amazing. I know my father said the governor of Kisumu wants to do a book day for him in Kisumu. So I just wish you the best, and I hope people who are going do so. If I could, I would also be there. And so I'm signing off. I have to do some work now, so I'll not be able to speak again. But thank you. And Rushi, please, if you can, go. You will not regret it.
I wish I could.
Yeah, Rushi frequents Kenya than me. He has beaten me when it comes to like going to Kenya over the last. Since we first went together, he's been there many times, and I'm very proud of you for that, by the way. Share with us your thoughts on this proverb, and also how you're doing and where you are joining us from. Thank you, brother.
No worries, no worries. I am joining you from Charleston, South Carolina. And I'm doing well today. I have no complaints. I'm giving thanks for the little, that's for sure. So with this proverb, it's pretty much a theme or a thesis to how I operate, how I live my life. I know I always give thanks for the smallest things I can, just kind of how Stella said the other day, when you go outside, I'm so thankful just to breathe the air. I'm thankful in the morning that I can get up and stretch. I'm thankful in the morning that I have water, electricity. Just being thankful for the smallest things, it makes a tremendous impact in my life. This also reminds me of the other proverb we have that says, "When you carry your own water, you learn to appreciate every drop," which kind of goes along with this proverb to me. And also makes me think about my trip with you to Kisumu when we would visit someone who didn't have electricity, who didn't have a kitchen in their house, but they would offer us tea, and they would have to go through such a big, well, for me, it's such a lot just to make a cup of tea when you don't have the common modern appliances that we are used to in America or just, in more developed areas. So when someone goes out their way to do something for you that's takes a lot for them to have and they give it to you so willingly, it changes how you see a lot in your life. So this proverb makes me think about that. When you have a little, you think you have a little, but you have so much when you're able to breathe, when you're able to operate every day. Just be thankful for that. That's kind of how I see this proverb. And I wish I was going to Kenya with you tomorrow, but I know I'll be there soon, so it won't be long. Thanks.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, the this is the February trip, but we are also planning the July trip. So if you want to join me and my team in Kenya in July, you know where to go. onevibexperience.com, or the details are in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube. Rushi, just to add a little bit to our time in Kenya together last time, we were eating the whole day. I feel like every stop you make in Kenya, everybody wants to feed you, right?
Yeah, I know. I know. That's for sure. It's every star. I was like, man. Every time you go somewhere, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to eat. So yeah, it's a lot of food. But the thing about that is, it's so wonderful how giving everyone is, and that's kind of something that's kind of missing now in my culture. That's how it used to be when I was growing up. People were very, very giving. And nowadays, people are like, nah, don't drink my soda. But there it definitely it kind of redefines. It also gives you a reset about what's really important, which is family, friends, and being able to give. It's really what sets your soul free. So yeah, it's definitely a way to it's a way to change your mindset. That's it's one of the reasons why I always I find I have to go every couple of months. I feel like I have to go to Kenya because for me, living in America is so easy to take things for granted, and I get to the point to where I forget that where what's really important. And when I go there and people just show you so much appreciation, so much love, and they give from their heart, it resets me and lets me know that, wait a minute, when I was here, I got too much in the way of American life of being more of a taker. So for me, it's definitely a way to reset myself, and also it's a way for me to really live this proverb right here when I get back home. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It reminds me of recently we interviewed Freddie Mooks, who is from Cameroon, not Kenya. And he shared with us an idea that for him, I was reminding him about, and I was asking him a question during my interview with him and reminding him about this moment in Dallas here in the US where he was still a very new African immigrant here in the US. And he found that there was a very big social issue going on, and he mobilized the community and they raised over $1 million for that social issue. and he could not even speak English very well because he spoke French primarily. Anyhow, then eventually he was telling us that he believes in giving and not giving back, because a lot of the time people say give back to the community. It means you've taken something from the community and you need to give it back, and so I just love what you said, but also I was reminded of what he was saying around giving and not expecting anything. Now I want to welcome Jay. Jay, how are you doing today? Share with us your thoughts on today's proverb, and speak to Kijijinite a little bit if you'd like. Thank you so much.
Coming to you from Seattle, and blessings to everyone in the room. I wasn't expecting that this morning. I just thought I would check in just to see, Simon, if this room was going.
It's here. I never, even though I'm traveling today, I was like, I have to stay committed.
It's an addiction. It's a positive, it's a good, it's a wonderful addiction because it means so much to so many people. And I have to say that I just simply wanted to ditto everything that's been said so far, honestly. And a lot of times you don't even realize that your grass that you're living on, that you're depending on, that you're surviving on is lush and green and provides you with everything that you need until you look at the grass on the other side. You've been introduced to the grass on the other side. You've been made to believe that how you're existing, how you're living, what your life is like is less than. When all the time you have everything that you need and need to be content in that. And I agree that I have found that a lot of people that don't have much, their generosity is magnified because you're surprised that because in your mindset, they have so little, but in their mindset, they have been blessed with a lot. They are content. And there's something to be said about being content. There's beauty when you see someone singing and dancing and sharing and giving when they don't have what we have defined as the comforts of life. But in that comfort, we are not at peace with ourselves or at peace with others or feeling happy and content in our condition. So I agree that just being thankful and grateful for your health and family and food and clothing and the basic things in life, at that point when you are willing to just show contentment with that, there is more that can be added. But that additional doesn't change the basic gratitude that you have every single day for your health, because tomorrow is not promised. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
Excellent. Thank you, Jay. I love that. I love that so much. It's like a poem. Anyway, Kay, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from? And what are your perspectives on today's proverb?
Hi, and I just had to hop on for this one. Have a wonderful trip, and I'm in Arlington, Virginia, and I hope I can explain this. But I went to mail 2 letters. I just walked down a couple blocks to mail 2 letters. And I'm relatively new in this area. And so when I walked into the store, it's kind of a store with a post office in it. And I walked in, and the way I'm guessing, but I think the owner said good morning to me, it seemed to say good morning, but there was kind of an undertone of, can I help you? It was just very, very pleasant. Like he was,
Yeah,
and so anyhow, I said, I said good morning in a way that, I don't need anything or anything, but I'm just going to put these letters in the mailbox. I didn't say this, but it was the undertone. I also, in my good morning, I was appreciating his good morning. And then when I put the letters in the mailbox and I walked out, I heard myself saying thank you. And I just, it was just, I just thought about it. He said he's there when I need the stores open for me to put it in the mailbox. I don't know. There was something about gratitude all in that mix for me. And then later on in the evening, my granddaughter called up and she said, I said I was going to be back at 7, but da 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 da. And I'll be back at 8. And I said, thank you very much for letting me know. So that reminded me of a thing where I was discussing something with her mother or something. I can't remember exactly. But anyhow, also being grateful for things that we feel people are supposed to do. It's not like every time your husband takes the garbage out, you say thank you, but there's going to be certain times when you just appreciate that.
I
So
love
you
that.
just appreciate it, and it just makes your life so much greater. Yeah, that's. I hope I was made some kind of
You
sense.
did. You did. You took us on a journey. You took us on a journey to that, post office you go to. And I just appreciate you for being here today. And thank you for your support over the years. You're one of the people who have supported this space, so much. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
David, how are you, my brother? Where are you joining us from today? And what are your thoughts in regards to today's proverb from Nigeria?
Hello, hello, Simon. How are you doing? It's a long while, I know.
Yes. I'm doing
Mm.
great. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
I'm joining you from the East Coast, from New Jersey. Um, and thank you for bringing me up, and also let me say hi to everybody on the stage. Um, it's great to be here. So, yeah, I just kind of felt I should jump in a little bit, Simon. It's been a while, I know. But one thing I wanted to share with everybody regarding this uh, proverb is that we should always be grateful for who we are. And I know that sometimes becomes an issue for some other people because, uh, it's a journey for you really to understand who we are. There's little things that we take for granted. Um, And those little things are the most important thing. For example, your health is very important for you. Um, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your psychological health. All these are important. If you really don't take good care of them, actually everything is not important at all after that. Because if you don't have good health, then definitely there is nothing else you can do. So I wanted to add that. And then also the fact that we should all appreciate each other. And when I think about appreciation, it's not just appreciating somebody because they are your friend, but appreciating humanity, appreciating all humans, appreciating all people of different descent. In general speaking, I just think that appreciation is something that, if we really take seriously, the world can be a better place. So no matter who you are, whether you are poor or whether you are in some dire need, you are marginalized. We should all appreciate everybody, appreciate all people, appreciate everybody. It doesn't matter where they come from or how they look, or maybe even it doesn't matter, um, what they speak. Just is a human being. So as a human being, we all need to respect them. And then lastly, again, when I think about this proverb, I had something just quickly to share, almost like a proverb. So I will quickly read it. It's not long. It's just a few lines. I think less than nine lines. So if you allow me, I'll read it, Simon.
Yes,
Uh,
David, go ahead.
yes. So before you thrive, you must survive. Before you survive, you must exist. Before you exist, you must be formed. But to be formed, you must understand yourself. You must understand your identity. Practice makes perfect, but perfect is not perfection. You only understand perfection when you understand yourself, when you understand your identity. Thank you, Simon. I yield the
Excellent.
mic.
Thank you, David. I love your share as well, and I appreciate your presence. I also know that you're one of the people who have supported this space for a long time. And also to everyone who is just joining us today for the first time, thank you. Today is going to be our last, space and conversation and broadcast until February 27th. We have an event we are hosting here in Seattle, Washington on February 24th. It's our second biggest event that we organize annually. It's called Kijiji Night. And for those who don't know Kiswahili, Kijiji means village. So it's village night, and this is part of our Black History Month celebration here in Seattle. We've done it for over 5 years. This is the 6th year. I am also traveling to Kenya later on today, and I organize a group travel where every year we organize 2 trips. So this is the first one, and the next one is going to be in July, and then next year we are also going to do the same thing. So if you want to be a part of those trips that we organize to Kenya every year, one of the best places you can go to is the description on this YouTube video. In case you're on Clubhouse, I am actually live streaming on YouTube as well. The link is at the top of the room. If you tap that link, go to the description of this video, you'll find a lot of information, but especially focus on the trip to Kenya if you want to learn more. I want to bring Alpha Bravo to the microphone so that we can hear from you, and then we can begin wrapping up our conversation today. But before I do that, I just want to welcome Tolu and Patience and Utako, and also Rocky, who is a great supporter of the space, and Brother Earth, who is unable to speak today. I just want you all to know that you're welcome, and it's a privilege to have you here. Alpha Bravo, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And what are your thoughts on today's proverb?
Oh, thanks a lot. Hello, everyone. My name is Steven. Actually, Alpha Bro is just, you know, just a nickname. Anyway, just a clubhouse name. I'm joining you guys from Australia, Sydney. And I actually did not follow the whole thing. I came in the middle. So maybe if you can refresh my, my thoughts again.
Yeah, no problem,
I can actually
Thank you.
respond to that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
Thank
the
you.
program's really good, and I think yeah.
Yeah, it's right. It's right at the top of the clubhouse room, and it says, "Give thanks for the little, and you will find a lot." This is a Nigerian proverb, and how we do this show every day.
Okay.
Yeah, we bring these proverbs, and we almost sit like we are around the village fire, and we talk about it. Sometimes we have a guest that I interview, and we talk about many aspects of their lives and stories and their work. and we record it for the African Father in America podcast. So this entire conversation is distributed across all podcasting platforms as well as YouTube.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's a really, really very important point over there, because if you look at it, me personally, I just take myself. You see, whenever somebody does something small and you don't appreciate them, they might feel like they are not welcome, or they are not, their effort is not appreciated. Even your wife in the house, you know what I mean? Or even your husband, vice versa, you know. Uh, I think with us men, let me just talk about us men now. Um, I think all you need is just appreciation. You know what I mean? And then you feel good and all that stuff. I think women also need the same thing. Um, I can't go much than that, but I think
Thank you, man. Thank you. I
appreciation is good
appreciate it.
to say thanks to. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. We missed parts of what you said, but I think we got most of it. And I thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you can join us again when we are back. And there are a lot of replays on Clubhouse. If you use Clubhouse primarily, we have the African Father in America Club, which we don't use much. We are moving all our programming to the AFIAPodcast house where we are right now, and also on YouTube. Those are, if you want to catch this show being broadcasted live, those are the two places. But we share a lot of content on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. So you can catch us literally everywhere. I want to thank you, and I want to thank all the contributors that took the time to join us for today's conversation. And I just want to remind you that this work is impossible to do alone, and that's why for me, the time that each one of you gives us every day is really the biggest paycheck that I get, and I just want to thank you for your generosity of your time. And I just want to invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Give this video a thumbs up and comment down below so that we know that you are engaged with today's conversation. Remember, we will be sharing a lot more content in the course of the next 2.5 weeks, and then after that we'll be back to live broadcasting consistently. If you can make it to Seattle, join us for Kijiji Night at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute, February 24th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. We are going to do a screening of 2 documentaries. One is called Displaced Voices of the Duwamish Valley, and another one is called Madaraka, the documentary. We also have poetry, we have musical performances, we have a panel discussion, and then we have Ghanaian food provided by Chop Chop, an amazing, wonderful food business run by a young couple here in the Pacific Northwest. Anyhow, thank you again. I am grateful, and I will be seeing you all on February 27th for another live broadcast of the amazing African Father in America podcast. Take great care of yourselves. Peace and love.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle.